Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And I hope all of you had a great weekend. It's a short week. We're open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be closed Thursday and Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. That's for Patriot. KXXT in Phoenix closed Thursday and Friday. 1360 KHNC there in Johnstown in Colorado also closed Thursday and Friday. So if you want to do business on those days, you can always go to the website. That's open 24 hours a day at allamericangold.com. Otherwise, you got 3 days before the Thanksgiving holiday. Remember, I'll give you my Thanksgiving plan. Right? You got to get invited somewhere else. That's the key. And I know a lot of you, like me, are like, I'm going to the in-laws, or, maybe you're going over to the brother or the sister, and it's fine for a few hours, but you don't want to be stuck there all day. And of course, there's never any good leftovers, right? There's always green bean casserole and cranberry sauce, right? Maybe some mashed potato. Maybe a couple of rolls, but your turkey, right? You're down to there's maybe some dark meat, right? It's slim pickings. Well, I've got you covered. The backup turkey. It's so brilliant. All as you do is you get invited somewhere else, but before you leave to go to whoever, cousin, aunt, brother, sister's, college former roommate, you put that backup turkey in the oven. Now you've got a time frame. Hey, we can only stay, till 6. We got another turkey in the oven. The other thing, think about it this way too. Hey, we don't need any of the turkey left over. So other guests will be happy that you had a backup turkey, so they can have more turkey left over, and you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You put a time limit on how long you can be. Then you gotta go. Hey, gotta go. Plus, when you get back, you actually have turkey leftovers. Thank you. You're welcome. Jason, my partner in Colorado, what do you think about my backup turkey?
Well, I think I've heard it every year for many years. You talk about it. I think it's a good plan. My family tends to get together. So the Walkers had their Thanksgiving yesterday, and Jack called it pizza giving. Because we had pizza. That was our Thanksgiving. We had a gathering of the brilliant Walker family and had pizza Thanksgiving yesterday. So that was our thing.
Leave it to Jason to he beats to his own drum. But again, obviously the whole family does. So you can't blame him. This is just how he was raised.
It was Bernice's idea to do the pizza.
Pizza given. Yeah, well, why not, right? Turkey's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was easy, that's for sure. It was a lot more time for conversation and visiting.
Well, I created the backup turkey. Jason is right. I've been talking, I don't know how many years now, at least 5, maybe 10, something like that. It came to me one day because, we are always getting, cheated. You go home and you want to have a turkey sandwich, and there's everything but the turkey left. Well, I came up with the backup turkey, and even now, I will say this: I saw a turkey. I don't know how they do it, and actually, I don't want to know. So nobody tell me, don't ruin this for me, okay? But they sell these turkeys that only have the breast meat. I don't know how they do it. Like the legs and the wings and all that are gone, and so it's just, it may be like a 10-pound thing. Now, granted, they charge twice as much, but it cooks a lot faster, So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, well, If we have time later on in the next hour, you wouldn't believe my dad bought this $4 little card game. It's such an antisocial game that I couldn't believe. It's called Who in This Room? Who in This Room? And there is no winners and losers. You read some weird thing, kind of like Would You Rather, kind of that game where you read some comment.
Right, yeah.
And then after you read this, who in this room likes potty humor the most? And, of course, everyone pointed directly at me. You're supposed to point at who you think it is. So you have people pointing fingers at everybody. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever played. I don't think my dad really thought it through when he bought it.
Well, that sounds like a great scene. Now, we like to play Cards Against Humanity. And for those of you that don't know, it's an X-rated kind of game. I don't know, X-rated, R-rated. A lot of inappropriately.
Yeah, that was this game too.
X-rated is probably right. Very sexual and inappropriate language, so don't play it with your young kids. But I've got older kids now, and everybody, you read the question, everyone puts their answer in, and whoever got the most laughs wins that card. And we have a great time with it.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were aiming for, but when you start getting pointed at for who's the dirtiest person in the room who doesn't change their clothes, suddenly yeah. So
I think, what is that game called? I think we need to get it.
Who in this room? You're coming up for a visit.
Who in this room?
I'll hand it over to you. You can put it in your. It's a small
box.
A
great stocking stuffer for everybody. Hey, we got a great show lined up for you. Last Friday, we had a really obscure silver item completely sold out. People are still calling for it. We're sold out. Today, we got an obscure gold item. Don't touch that dial. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe Jaquint, Jason Walker here on this Monday. It's already the 22nd of November, 2021. Wrap it up very quickly.
Joe, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick, because the most bizarre things happen in the radio station. I'm going to ask you a question, and you tell me what you think it means, because I always think it means something else. When I see something, I read it, I think it's exactly what it says. So my wife is like, are you always supposed to read between the lines? You're supposed to know what people think. There's a bottle of Coke. It's not the old days where I'm walking around the radio station by myself. There's people coming in and out every day now. So there's always new stuff coming in and out. There's a bottle of Coke, an old bottle, nice tall bottle of Coke, Coca-Cola. And it says, Dave Mista, do not drink. Does that mean anybody can drink it but Dave Mista? Or is someone saving that for Dave Mista? I think it's Dave Mista's not supposed to drink it.
Okay.
Oh, my
God. Wow. I don't know why you think that's that funny.
I don't know, because I see a Coke. It's in the control room, which I don't even know how it ended up there. And there's this paper. There's this paper instruction that says Dave Mista. Now Dave Mista, he does.
Paper instruction.
There's a paper instructions taped to the bottle. And it's like, I'm like, Jack, are you supposed to drink this? Because it looks like only Dave Mista is trying to stay away from this thing.
Oh, man. That takes me back. There was an episode of Friends. Ross, David Schwimmer, he had a turkey sandwich. It was, left over from Thanksgiving, right? And Monica made with a moist maker in it, and it had a note. And yes, he had anger problems at the time. Yes, you ate my sandwich.
Oh my gosh! By the way, my mom and dad love Seinfeld. I think my dad goes to sleep most every night watching repeats of Seinfeld.
That's a great show too. I love that. You know what? I've gotten into repeat. Like I go in waves. Like lately, it's Everybody Loves Raymond and Friends.
My wife loves the Raymond show.
Before that, it was Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? Those are great shows.
Yep.
My wife's been TiVoing or recording all these movies. The kids are coming home for a few days. And literally like a few days. I think they get in on Wednesday and they leave on Sunday. And I'm like, who's recording all these movies? And Sarah's like, well, I am. And, something for the boys to watch. I go, they're only here for a few days. They can't watch that many movies. But, anyway. You never know. I think this whole week's going to be a weird week.
There might be a binge day. You never know.
Good point. I guess the binge watching. Well, I got to tell you. So today is a day, and I know we're kind of all over the place a little bit. We're going to be silly. It's the holidays, but today is a day. If you said, okay, is today a good day or a bad day to buy? I would tell you today is a great day. We've got gold down like $30. But why they're saying it's down is what makes it so humorous. Is Joe Biden announced this morning that Jerome Powell, Jay Powell, is going to be renominated for a second term, and that Lael Bernard, she's going to get the number 2 job. So she's going to be the vice chair. And usually, and as far as Fed goes, that's where you go, and then that kind of says, hey, you're next. Right? Bernanke was Greenspan's vice chair. Then Yellen was Bernanke's vice chair. Right? Powell was, well, and I don't know if Powell was Yellen's vice chair or if he was the head of New York. I think he made vice chair and then got the job. But think about this. Jay Powell, since he's been in charge, the Federal Reserve has doubled the size of their balance sheet, right, to all-time record highs. Believe it or not, interest rates were not actually zero when he took over. Brought rates back down to zero. We now have the worst inflation, they'll say since the 70s, but really if you tracked it like it was the 70s, we may have worse inflation today than we did then, which you would think would be like, you're not doing a real good job here. I think we can find somebody else. I don't know that can we even get somebody that could be worse than that? How about tell you what, we're going to renominate you. I mean, this is what government jobs are all about. The worst you do, right? The worse job you do, the more you get rewarded. And guess who loves it? The bankers love it. The billionaires love it. There's no good here for us because I guess the only good part is, and I've said this, is I'd rather have Jay Powell than Lael Bernard. Maybe that was the only good thing because she's even a bigger liberal. And all of us, all Americans today, really should be really upset because this is a clear indication that money that you earn every week, that money that's in your wallet, in your purse, in your bank accounts, they don't care. They're glad it buys less. Think about it. I mean, they want to convince us that they only want it to buy 2% less every year. And if it just so happens, and again, I told you back in, what was it, 2008, and when they made this official. That was their new official stance. The second it gets to 2%, they're going to say, well, it's okay that it's a little more. Just for a little while. Don't worry about it. Just think about last month. Your money was worth 6% less. And this guy gets rewarded with another deal. He gets another contract, Jason. I
think this confirms that things are getting ready to crash. You can't bring your new person in that you really want there and have it all crash on her. You keep the other guy in because when Bernanke and things were crashing and burning on his watch, it was the so-called Obama recovery that they brought in Yellen. So I think that we got the same situation here. This confirms a massive drop in the markets is coming. They got to do it on Jerome Powell's watch. They can't bring the new person in because then we'll all blame her, Joe. So I think this is right in line with the storyline they want the people to swallow.
Yeah, I loved Zero Hedge made a great comment. Bernard next in line when Powell mucks up liftoff and we get a late 2022 recession. I think that's actually a pretty good call. But again, this is a, believe it or not, they want to try to give you the illusion. Oh yeah, look, the good for the dollar. Yeah, continuity. Jay Powell. And we get a little fake sell-off in the gold price. Believe me, Jay Powell, nobody is going to confuse him, Jason, with a conservative or a inflation hawk in any sense of the word. This is a guy that fumbles through press conferences, has done, again, just look at his accomplishments. Fed's balance sheet has never grown more in one Fed term ever. So he shattered that record. Interest rates went to zero for pretty much his whole term. And now he's presiding over the worst case of inflation that the country's ever seen. And the guy gets to keep his job.
Yeah, it's not a bad 5 years of work.
Right. So, and again, I guess Lael Bernard, she's next. I like Jason's thought, too, because I agree with him 100% that she's going to be the fixer.
Yep.
No doubt about it. She is great at taking from success and giving it to failure. And I look at this whole system, this digital system, and everyone's got an opinion. What's it going to look like? And again, I think for most of us, right, we'll adjust and cash will be phased out. And, I bought gas today as an example. Well, you put your card in the pump, right? I don't know that changes with the digital. The only thing that would change is, hey, you can't go in and pay cash for the gasoline. You got to use your card or use your phone or use the chip that's got embedded in you, whatever it may be. I mean, a lot of what we do now is digitalized anyway. But really the bigger thing's going to be the bail-in of the banks. Because that's what's happening. And who gets what, right? Some people have speculated that, hey, the poor people, the paycheck-to-paycheck people, you'll get dollar for dollar in the electronic credits, right? So let's just say you had $587 in the bank that day. Well, you'll get 587 electronic credits. And some people think, and with Lael Bernard, for good reason, especially if Janet Yellen is still the Treasury Secretary, that maybe if you're the right type of person, that maybe you're going to get a little more than what you had, right? And I'll let you guys read between the lines of what I mean by right type of person. And then the ones that have had success, they're the ones that are going to pay, right? And what's that going to look like? Right? Is it going to be tiered? Right? If you have, $50,000 in the bank, $50,000 to say, I don't know, $50,000 to $99,000, maybe you get 2/3. If you've got between $100,000 and $250,000, do you get half? Right? If you've got more than that, do you lose everything above $250,000 and still only get half? Jason, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, switching over to digital has a lot of question marks. I mean, I was just over the weekend looking at the founder of Facebook. We call him the Worm. That guy talking about his metaverse he's building, this fake reality that people are going to plug themselves into, Joe, and these weird ETFs, these things that are these fake pictures and things that people are buying. It'll be more relevant in the metaverse. You can bring your real world things into your fake world, and this digital money thing, Joe, is they're wanting this thing bad. It's coming at us full steam, and I think a lot of what's going on around us since coronavirus came up has a lot to do with, hey, we're gonna modernize this world, Joe, and you guys are gonna just have to deal with it. You have no choice.
I'm going to tell you right now, I still don't understand that whole thing. And maybe it's just, maybe my brain is not big enough. I don't get it. Right? And again, that whole metaverse, I saw this thing, which I'm sure you're probably excited about. There's going to be another Matrix movie.
No, I'm not interested in that.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, it'll be terrible.
Yeah, right. I don't know. That's just, it's too much for my brain to even, it hurts my head, so I can't even go there. But it's going to, listen, this is a very interesting Federal Reserve setup. By all accounts, nobody in their right mind would say, hey, renominate Jay Powell. Just doesn't exist. Well, unless what? Because I know if you turn on the idiot box, CNBC today, and I don't know, I didn't even turn it on because it's pointless. It's all fake anyway. They're probably clapping and cheerleading. Fox News with Maria Bartiromo, right? They're probably, oh, yeah, great, all this. They love it. This has been terrible. Now Lael Bernard, right? She's going to be the quote-unquote fixer. That should scare the hell out of everybody. Patriot Radio News Hour. We're going to be back with that gold special. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe Jaquint, Jason Walker. So today, I got an item that, I don't know, in the last 20 years, we probably run them a handful of times. The last time we ran I can't even tell you. I think it's been years. But we've got a weird market. Things are hard to get. And prices can be considerably over milk content. Today, I've got BU, brilliant uncirculated, British sovereigns. They're all 2016s, and the British sovereign, it's a fractional coin. It's just under a quarter of an ounce of gold, 0.2354 to be exact. For us, that would be the equivalent, really, like of the old $5 Liberty. Now, the old $5 Liberty, that's got more gold in it, but not a lot. Maybe about $15 more gold in a $5 Liberty than a British sovereign. And then, of course, the other equivalent, right, the quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle. A quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle, if you could find them. And finding them, no easy task. And if you were willing to buy over 100 of them at one time, you could find them for about $630. One by one, $635, $640. $5 Liberties today, they're $605. But we've got another one. This is like that Canadian silver deal that ran last week. So 0.2354 ounces of gold. $500. So, Jason, when you think about price per ounce, and you're looking at fractional gold, this is the best item out there. On a quarter ounce gold eagle, the quarter ounce gold eagle's only got $25 more worth of gold in it, but it's $135 more.
Yeah, this is great.
The $5 Liberty, it's got about $15 more gold in it, but it's $105 more. So again, this is solely about value. Look at it this way: you're going to get almost an ounce of gold for $2,000. I mean, a $20 Liberty today is $2,145. So this is just really cheaper price per ounce than a $20 gold piece today, and you're getting the British sovereign, and they're all BU, so they're going to look brand new. They're $500 a piece, at 800-951-0592. And, just to put it in perspective, you get over 94 hundredths of an ounce of gold for $2,000. That is dirt cheap, Jason.
It's very comparable to the $5 Liberty, and it's very comparable to the Friday special, which was those Canadian dollars, which were a high-grade Canadian dollar that you priced really low. This is, just like you said at the beginning, last segment or two, this is pretty much the gold equivalent to that silver special on Friday. So, essentially an ounce of gold for $2,000 is pretty good.
Yeah, fractional. And that's the big part. The fractional side.
$500 each. Yeah.
Pay so much more for the fractionals. I mean, think about like $5 Liberties today. You know what? I know online they're $605. I'll just call it $600. That's $2,400. Right now, I'm saying, hey, you can have 4 of these for $2,000. And really, what are we talking about? A $60 difference in gold? I mean, that's incredible. A gold eagle. The gold eagle is the most expensive way to buy. I mean, gold eagles today, if you can find them, it's over $2,500 to the ounce. Like I said, it's a weird market. Believe me, today is one of the best days to buy the BU British Sovereigns today. $500 because the millionaires and the billionaires and the bankers are all happy about Jay Powell. Believe me, gold's happy too, because they know, hey, they're not going to do anything to fight inflation, but this is just a little dog and pony show by the bankers. 800-951-0592. I still got 2 lines open, so get them while you can. Last Friday, listen, they sell out. Nothing we can do. We only have limited supplies, and when they're out, they're out. 800-951-0592. Here's the latest now in single-family homes. Construction as a whole has slowed in the past few months. But there's one particular kind of construction that is going gangbusters. It's the new construction model called single-family built for rent. A small but growing part of the residential construction sector. Record numbers being built in the third quarter of 2021. Construction started on 16,000 family homes for rent. More than any quarter on record, and I will tell you they are popping up everywhere here in the Valley, Jason.
Yeah, if you remember, Joe, the house that I bought last year, I said the construction was kind of normally paced, and then right around February of this year, they just went crazy as the inflation was just starting to come in, and they've been building at a breakneck speed ever since February. So this is not, these numbers don't surprise me, Joe. They're building fast and furious.
Listen to this. I love this. New home prices now well over $400,000. These new rental homes offer you a way to rent the American dream, Jason.
Yeah, because that's what we all want. We all want to pay the landlord, right?
Right.
That's the American dream.
Thank you, Jay Powell, right? Thank you, guys. We can now rent the American dream for rent. Right? I mean, it used to be, right, you had the wife, the kids, the dog, the white picket fence, right? You owned your home. Yeah, no. This is get ready. Get ready for the new America. Think about what 16,000 in a quarter. And listen, this is just the beginning. Look at this, of course. Listen, we got 1 line open. Stay on hold. We'll get you in the order that you called. Those BU British Sovereigns, $500 at 800-951-0592. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We got the smartest listeners in the world, because I was wondering, I didn't know if today they would figure out, hey, I got to add here. Today is a day you add. When you get a down 30 day, especially for, I don't even have the right word. My vocabulary isn't good enough. Just for an idiotic reason, right? Like, hey, we're gonna reelect maybe one of the worst Fed presidents ever. Here's a guy. Listen, he's still saying inflation's transitory. This is how big of an ass clown we've got. Think about it. I thought the president was bad. He's worse. He's actually worse than Joe Biden. Because Jay Powell's actually still got his faculties, and he still can't figure it out. How about this? Greg Jones. Who? Yeah, Greg Jones. He's a retired handyman in Livermore, California. He recently told MarketWatch that a price for a regular burrito at his favorite spot in Oakland had gone up to $12 from $7, and parking at the Alameda County Fairgrounds has now gone to $15. He paid $100 a ticket to see American banjo player Bella Fleck. Wow. Man, this guy, hey, everyone's got their own taste. But he said he can't afford to keep paying to see these concerts anymore. I want to support other live performances, but my wallet is empty. And I just loved it. $12 for the regular burrito. I don't know what a regular burrito is, but $12.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's an expensive burrito. I
mean,
wow.
And he said it used to be $7.
Wow. Well, man, I guess tortillas cost more, Joe.
I guess. Well, again, hey, and I don't mean to laugh at that story, because it's all true. And, we're sitting here, and I keep saying there's no labor shortage, people. There isn't. Nobody's going to work for $10 or $12 or $15 an hour. Because you can't buy anything. I just had to get gas again. God, I hate getting gas. It's $50-some, and I don't even get 15 gallons. Because I don't have a huge tank, and I don't let it get all the way empty. And I'm just, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, in California, 20 gallons of gas, $100. Here in Arizona, it's $80. And look at rents. Now housing's gotten so expensive, you really can't afford to buy a house. But don't worry. We've got this a brand new rental home for you today. Right? You can rent the American dream. Car prices. Another record, Jason. It's just gotten incredible. We actually looked up. So our youngest son, he plays football at University of San Diego, blah, blah, blah. My wife was trying to get, hey, what do you want for Christmas? My younger son, his birthday is in 10 days. And then, of course, we got Christmas. So my wife's saying, well, what do you want, And so he said that he wanted a wetsuit and a surfboard, right? Because he lives 5 minutes from the beach. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes pretty good sense. But, he drives a 2013 Ford Mustang. And it's not one of these souped up ones. It's just like the generic version of a Mustang. But it's still, a nice car. He doesn't drive it that much. It's got under 100,000 miles on it. Okay. My wife looked it up because we were talking. Well, you can't put a surfboard in that thing. We'd probably have to, maybe get a little SUV or a pickup truck or something like that. And Jason, we paid for it, and we bought that car in 2015. We bought it for our older son when he turned 16. For, I think, tax, title, license, everything, $13,000. Sarah looked it up yesterday. It's worth anywhere, they're saying, and we'll see, but anywhere from $17,000 to $20,000 now.
Yeah, and boy, the only way it'll go down a little bit is if you hit that 100,000. Boy, that's the big trigger to go down in price. So
but what's funny is the problem is we're like, oh, that's great, but then you start looking at, okay, what can we put a surfboard in? And the cost of those things are a fortune.
Oh yeah.
So I got my point being, listen, this is a car that we bought at low miles in 2015. Because think about it, the car was 2 years old. And I want to say it had, I somewhere around 25,000 miles on it, okay? And it was $13,000. I mean, that's sort of reasonable.
Yep.
Now you're going to tell me a car that is now, what was 2 years old, is now 8 years old, has now got almost 4 times the miles on it. And you're going to tell me, now you got to retail, this is wholesale. That car's going to retail out for almost double the price. Probably retail out for about $22,000, $23,000. I mean, it blows your mind. This is the problem. They say there's no truckers out there. There's plenty of truckers out there. They just don't pay enough. Right? Once we figure out how much we've got to pay them, then we're going to realize how bad inflation really is. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. The British Sovereign, just under a quarter ounce, fractional gold at a fraction of the price of any like fractional coin out there. So like I said, just under a quarter ounce. You got the quarter ounce American Gold Eagle, if you can find them, $635. I think the cheapest I saw, you had to buy 120 of them for $628. That was the cheapest I saw. You got the $5 Liberty, the old $5 Liberty, 1866 to 1907. Right, that one clocks in at $600. So it's cheaper than the Gold Eagle, but still $600. And then we've got the BU British Sovereigns that we're running today. They're at $500. And like I said, they've got $15 less gold than the $5 Liberty, and about $30 less in gold, $25 less gold than the Gold Eagle. Something like that. Maybe $25, $30, something like that. But you're talking about, $100 less, Jason. It's just great. It just makes great sense when you're talking about price per ounce. This is the best deal we have today. I don't have anything less than I have the British Sovereign as far as price per ounce goes. And Jason, you know this. You can't get fractional. Maybe you get like a half ounce for the same price as a 1 ounce. That'll happen. And every once in a while, you get a half ounce for less. Every once in a while. You never get that opportunity, or almost never, because it just happened today, so you can't say never. That almost never happens when you get down to these quarter ounce sizes.
That's correct. And let me add to that, we have a pretty good supply of these. So if you're one of these guys that wanting to jump in heavy on gold, you've cashed something in and you want to get heavy on gold before the end of the year, Joe, I don't know how many we have. It sounds like we have a lot of these, so you could come in.
Yeah, I have several hundred of them. That's how good of a deal. So I saw it. I snagged them. Obviously when we ran out of the Canadian coins that we had on Friday, this is so similar. You're talking about $400 an ounce less than $5 Liberties, over $500 an ounce less than quarter ounce American Gold Eagles, dude. I mean, you just can't beat it. And again, like I said, I don't know every place everywhere in the world, but you go to a place like APMEX, dude. We're We're $20 less than they are on these things. 800-951-0592. The BU British Sovereigns, $500 today, Jason. And it's just a great time to get into this market, especially today. You got gold down $30 because we've just renominated maybe the worst Fed governor since Arthur Burns. And a lot of you go, who the hell's Arthur Burns? Well, he was the Fed governor in the 70s. The guy that didn't see inflation, just like Jay Powell can't see inflation, Jason.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Like you said, maybe if people understood this, they would be really angry by this, Joe. But you know what? If they understood central banking, how bad it is, why do we even have the Fed at all? Maybe we should just get rid of that whole thing. Just get rid of the damn bank.
Actually, you're right. If people actually really understood it, we wouldn't have it at all. Patriot Radio News Hour. God bless everybody.